All right, are we live? I think we're live. All right, let me get the NRL ladder predictor up as well. So I'm not doing this via StreamYard for once. I'm actually doing it through YouTube, which is different for me. Normally I do it via StreamYard. Probably should have as well. Just looking at the comments. Learn Bottle says, hello, how are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well, man. I'm trying to put my tipping video up. It's taking quite a while for my weekly tips to actually upload this week. And I haven't done a live stream in so long. So I thought I'd pump one out for you guys. Just going to move these forward. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to predict NRL. I did say rounds 25 to 27. You know what? I'm going to include my tips because that video is on its way out. It's only like 20 minutes away, so you're just going to be the first people to see it. Learn Bottle says, do you like Western Bulldogs? I sure do. I sure do, man. I hope we don't choke and miss out on a final spot. Para Chips says, hi, go Para. Go Para, that's correct. All right, guys, so what we're going to do, we're going to predict the ladder, speak about the kind of final series coming up. We're only like a month away from September football, so obviously that's exciting because we're getting closer and closer to the final series and the 2024 NRL Grand Final. You know, sad because it is coming to an end, but yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about games. So, as I said, my tipping video, there's a few issues. It's going to be up in about 20 minutes. I just have to tap the screen while it's uploading every couple of minutes. But at the moment, the ladder reads the Storm on top with 2 points. The Panthers 2 points behind them in second. Third is the Roosters. They are 4 points behind them. Sharks also on that 32. Bulldogs knocking on the door of a top 4 spot in fifth. Manly Seagulls in sixth in 29 points. So that obviously draw has helped them a bit. Cowboys in seventh position. Dolphins in eighth. And then the Knights have moved into ninth position with their win. I didn't know that, actually. Wow. I thought the Dragons were in ninth. Is that right? Is that actually right? Are the Knights in ninth position? I didn't think they were. No, the Dragons are in ninth. I don't know what the NRL ladder predictor is doing there. Learn Bottle, I'm not giving out my phone number. I've seen those comments. That will not be happening, man. Go Para, it's going to be a Penrith Storm Grand Final. So obviously you think it's going to be this week's game being the Grand Final. I reckon Storm win Grand Final, says Para Chips. We'll see. Let's see what I think. All right, so Panthers Storm this week. I am going to go with the Panthers here. I'll stick with the 12-point margin there via the ladder predictor. I've got them winning by 10. Manly, I've got getting a nice win against the Warriors. I'll put them there by 12 points. I've got them by about 14, 16 points. The Roosters will be too good for the Eels. I'm sorry, guys. I've got the Roosters there by 18. Bulldogs and Dolphins should be close, but I have got the Doggies getting another win by 8 points. That does put them into the top 4, but the Sharks are yet to play. Cowboys and Raiders, I'm going to go the Cowboys by 2 points there. West Tigers and Rabbitohs, I'm actually going to go the Tigers here in an upset, which you'll see that video come out shortly. No, Learn Bottle, I'm going to have to time you out if you're commenting things like that. I can't do it, man. Unfortunately not. I'm not going to give out my address. I don't want you to put your address in the comments either. I'm going to remove that. We're gonna put you in a bit of a timeout, but we'll do a 1 minute just to clear that, okay? All right. We're back to it. Please don't comment your addresses, guys. You never know what people will do. So just, keep your private information private. Dragons, Titans, it's a tough game. I'm going the Dragons by 8 points, which puts them, it says into ninth position, but they already are there. I don't know what this ladder is doing. Sharks move back into the top 4 for mine with a 12-point win there over the Newcastle Knights. So the Bulldogs knocked out of the top 4 there. All right, we'll check the comments here. Lachlan says, hi, Hayden. Hey, make sure you like the stream as well if you want to see me do more stream. I'd like to do a game stream. I've done a couple with BKR this year. I'd like to get one done by the end of the year, but I also love going to games live, so we'll see. All right, Tigers versus Seagulls, Leichhardt Oval. I think Manly are clicking at the right time. I'll go Manly there. Bulldogs in New Zealand against the Warriors. I've got the Doggies, man. They are playing good football. Closer game, though. Let's go Bulldogs by 4 points. Hello, David, 2010. Welcome to the stream. Broncos and the Eels. Now, this is a game I think we could win. Walsh is out with a fractured hand, but then I think of Saylor, and Saylor can rip us apart. So I'm going to go the Broncos there by about 6 points. It should be a good game. That should be a good game. Broncos Eel. It's kind of even out with all the injuries. Raiders, Panthers. I'm going to go a massive upset here. I reckon the Raiders are actually going to win at home. I reckon the Panthers win this week against the Storm. And then I think they could get upset by the Canberra Raiders, who are absolutely desperate to try and play finals football after a fairly good season, especially the start. So, yeah, give me the Raiders by 4 points. Storm up against the Dolphins. Now, I'm going to go the Storm here by 12 points. Now, that puts the Storm on top of the ladder and the Panthers behind still. Roosters third, Sharks fourth, Bulldogs fifth, Manly sixth, seventh, Cowboys eighth, Dragons at this stage. Rabbitohs and Knights. I'm going to go the Newcastle Knights to win this one. I'll go the Knights by 1 point. Titans and the Roosters. I think the Roosters will be too good. It's at Seabus, so it could be close. Let's go by 8 points, a win to the Sydney Roosters. Dig says, if we can stress Broncos out like we did Penrith, we should get that win. I feel like we can win that game against the Broncos, and we've got a great record at Suncorp, regardless what team we put on the park as well. What do we got here? Josh C says, can't wait to get my hands on Critter League Sensation Sig in a few days. That'll be sick. I'm so excited for 2024 Elite. It's going to be so good. Literally 2 days away now, so very excited. Hi, Emily M. Aussie Bushranger. Hey, mate, I wish we made finals so we could burst Penrith again to upset, but sadly BA is gone, which he deserved to stay. Thoughts on Penrith for a 4-peat? I don't think Penrith win the comp, but it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all, because that mentality that they've got last year is still there, and that win against the Eels will do them wonders. So hopefully I'm wrong. Do you have Para coming first? No. Where will the Sharks finish in the finals? I'm actually doing the ladder predictor as we speak right now, which I'll get back to it now. Speaking of it, there's a Sharks and Dragons game, which kind of decides my final series. So I'm going to take the Sharks to beat the Dragons at Wollongong. I know that the Dragons have a good record at Wollongong, but they have a poor record against the Sharks. Fighting for a final spot. Sharks for mine could be in the top 4. Round number 26, and we've got, at the moment, the Newcastle Knights are in the top 8, and the Dragons in 9th, the Dolphins and the Raiders both on 26 points, just outside the 8. Cowboys and Storm, to make the minor premiership race interesting, and when, Nanai returns probably in 2 weeks as well, at home, Townsville, give me the Cowboys to upset the Storm there. Bulldogs and Manly, I'll be at this game. The Bulldogs to win by, let's go 8 points. Panthers, Rabbitohs. Panthers should win and win well. Now, that puts Penrith tied on points with the Storm, but a better for and against. So I do have the Panthers in first in the final round before the regular season. So really interesting now. Parramatta Eel versus the Dragons. Love to sit here and say that the Eels win this. I think they could win this. But this Dragons side are going to be so desperate to get into the finals based off the season they've had. They're probably not going to go down without a fight. Probably the Dragons there by 4 points. Dolphins and the Broncos. I'm actually going to go the Broncos here. I'm going to go the Broncos. I know the injuries are a big concern and the Dolphins are playing pretty good football, but I think that the Broncos win that game at Suncorp/home. Sharks and the Warriors. I think the Sharks win. Closer game than people think, though. Knights and the Titans. I'm going to go the Titans to win. I think the Titans get a big win here. I think they can expose the Knights' defense. So I'll go the Titans by about 20 points there. Roosters and the Canberra Raiders. Let's have a look at that one. I'm going to go with the Roosters, who move into third position. Oh, they were outside before because of the Sharks' big win. So the final round of the season, here we go. Round number 27 coming at us, and it is the Broncos and the Storm. I'm going to go the Melbourne Storm by 18 points there. Tigers Eel. Now, if Tigers win, they hand the Eels the wooden spoon. Eels win. They avoid the wooden spoon by 2 games. I'll go Para win. Why not? Parramatta just avoid the wooden spoon. Parramatta win at Campbelltown. Last game of the year. I'll be there in the Eels Bay at Campbelltown. So let's go Parramatta to win, even though you guys know I did have a wooden spoon bet earlier in the year. Rabbitohs and the Roosters. I'm going to go the Roosters, even though the Rabbitohs always seem to win the September game against the Roosters. It is at a core, but the Roosters for mine coming into the finals should be too good. Dragons, Raiders. Now, if Raiders win, they move into a 10th spot, so they do miss out on the 8 for mine here, the Raiders. And the Dragons win, and they secure a final spot. I will go the Dragons. I'm at this game as well. I think that the Dragons in front of their home fans can get the win. So I've got the Dragons winning a couple of their games, but the one against the Sharks for mine, I've got question marks over, and I think they probably lose that one. Bulldogs, Cowboys, tough game to tip. Now, if the Cowboys win this, they move into 6th, pushing Manly to 7th. If the Bulldogs win, they stay in 5th position, which is probably the lowest they can go. I'm going the Bulldogs purely because it's at home. Cowboys beat them earlier in the year. The Bulldogs are coming into the finals with some good form. Bulldogs for mine. Panthers, Titans. Now there is a 25-point differential. So if the Panthers win this by, Melbourne needed to win. Let me just have a test here. So Melbourne would need to win by 40 points against the Broncos to win the minor premiership. So in saying that, Panthers, Titans, Panthers by 12. I've actually got the Panthers on top. I thought I had the Storm, but I have got the Panthers on top, winning the minor premiership on for and against by 17 points. 17 points separating the minor premiership. That's crazy. Welcome back, Learn Bottle. I have Storm getting minor premiership with Penrith resting players against Titans and losing. Oh, big call. Do we think the Dogs make it to the grand final? Let's see, shall we? Let's continue. Manly and Cronulla. Now, Manly win this, they stay in 6th. Sharks win this, they stay in 4th. They've been on a good run, the Sharkies. Manly at home have been very, very good. I'm going to go with Manly. I'm going to go Manly to beat Cronulla there. I think Hines will be back that game as well. And the Knights versus the Dolphins. Dolphins win, they move into 9th. Knights win, they move into 9th. Battle of who finished 9th. Who cares? The Dolphins have fallen off a cliff. I don't blame them. They've had the injury, but I will go the Dolphins to win that by 4 points. Just testing to see if they win by like 20, can they make the 8? No. Okay, so that is the end of the ladder based on the regular season. So I've got the Panthers and Storm in first position, but I do see the Panthers winning the minor premiership just on for and against there. Storm in second, Roosters third, Sharks holding on to 4th spot from the Bulldogs by 26 points. Bulldogs in 5th. What a season from them. Sea Eagles 6th position. Cowboys 7th, and just in the top 8, the St. George Illawarra Dragons. So Dragons and Cowboys on 32, Dolphins and Knights on 28. So Knights made a late run, almost made the finals there. Dolphins, Raiders missing out, and then bottom 4, Warriors, Rabbitohs, Eels, and the Tigers getting their 3rd straight wooden spoon. Hey, that's tough on them, isn't it? So let's have a look at the finals. We've got the Penrith Panthers taking on the Cronulla Sharks at Penrith. I can't go past the Panthers to advance to another prelim here. You've got the Bulldogs and the Dragons. Now, obviously, I've got a soft spot for the Dragons, but the Bulldogs, 2024 could be their year. So many numbers with them. Defense looking good, attack looking good. At home, where they've pretty much been undefeated all year. Give me the Bulldogs to eliminate the Dragons there. Then you've got Manly Sea Eagles versus the North Queensland Cowboys. This is a tough game to pick because you've got Origin representative players like, well, you've got them on both sides, but especially Maroons. You've got your Tom Deardens, you've got your Valentine Holmes, players who can step up in those experienced games, like they did a few years ago in that upset against the Sharks when I tipped them, mind you. I think Manly's attack has more than the Cowboys' attack. I know that the Cowboys have one of the better attacks in the comp, but I think Manly at the right time with your Lehigh Hopewade, your Tom Trbojevic, those sort of players, your Tommy Talau firing, can beat the Cowboys. I could see why people think the Cowboys get an upset there. Then you've got the Storm and the Roosters from Amy Park. And you know what? I'm thinking Roosters, but I'm thinking more and more they just can't beat top sides, can they? Give me the Storm to advance to the prelims. Okay, week number 2. Let's have a look. Imagine a Penrith and Bulldogs grand final. I've got this feeling Riles is going to do for us what Serraldo did. What an end of the season. Wow. Big Mac Stackhouse. Manly and Dogs could be a dark house. No, I can't be a support worker, unfortunately, Learn Bottle. You've got to do a lot of training and stuff for that. Okay, so finals week 2, we've got the Cronulla Sharks against the Bulldogs in Cronulla. This is going to be tough for the Dogs. Sharks have been there before in the final. If the Sharks lose this game, they do go out in straight sets, and that's what I'm predicting to happen. I'm going the Bulldogs to go to the preliminary final. And then in week 2, you've got the 3rd place Roosters versus the 6th place Sea Eagles. Now, they played a fiery clash a couple of weeks ago. Roosters snuck home. Manly's attack's been getting right, but the Roosters have veterans. Your Jared Weir-Hargraves, your Victor Radleys, your James Tedesco. Give me the Roosters to advance to the prelim. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I have got the first Penrith versus 3rd Roosters versus 2nd place Storm versus 5th place Bulldogs. So, I don't think it'll be holding Cronulla. There you go. Panthers versus Roosters. You can make an argument for the Roosters as much as you want here, but the Panthers have been in this position. They know how to do it. Advance to their 4th straight grand final. 5th straight grand final? Shit. This team, man. 2020, 21, 22, 23. Shit. I didn't even realize that. That's how good this side is. Give me the Panthers. Luai's cooking. Cleary's cooking. Bearded Sam Walker was cooking, but I just think I'm gonna have to time you out again, Learn Bottle. I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout. We're gonna go 5 minutes this time because I don't like being told what to do. So Panthers beat the Roosters there for mine, and then Storm faced the Bulldogs. Now, they gave it to the Bulldogs at Amy Park earlier in the year. This is a Storm side that will want to win a premiership for Craig Bellamy, who, is getting towards the end of his career. The players are getting older at Melbourne, but they're still such a quality side. The Bulldogs are these young guns that just have been firing all year. From 5th position, though, to make it to a prelim, that's going to be tough. That's where I've got them. All the stats tell me Bulldogs, but the Storm finishing 2nd and almost getting a minor premiership is very hard to pick against at Amy Park. For the sake of 2024, and from what I've been saying since June this year, I said Panthers Eels 2022. I'm going with the Panthers and the Bulldogs in the 2024 NRL Grand Final. So, with this, 1st versus 5th, I just feel like as much as I don't want it to happen again, from what I've seen, though, maybe the Panthers do it and get this grand final again. Maybe they win their 4th straight grand final, making the NRL boring once again. You've got a Bulldogs team who have had these players that have been known as rejects who have done some great things this year. For the sake of some theatre, And for the sake of all the stats in the world, because Parramatta couldn't do it with all their stats of Top Gun and Neighbours and fucking who knows what else. Give me the Bulldogs. Let's go the Bulldogs, man. The Bulldogs need to get into the top 4 for mine if they are to win this grand final. But the Bulldogs have shown that they can beat good teams. They've shown that they can match it against Penrith. They've shown that they can match it against Melbourne in Amy Park. They, for mine, have been solid all year. They beat the Roosters in the rain. Did they beat the Sharks? I don't think so. Looking at who else they've beaten, they play Manly in a few weeks, which will be a test for them. They weren't able to beat the Cowboys, but they were dudded in a lot of people's opinion. And obviously the Dolphins this week will be a bit of a test for them as well. That'll be an interesting game. But let's go. Panthers Bulldogs is my 2024 grand final. I have been saying it for a while. I think that the Bulldogs can go all the way. I think that their defense wins comps. I think that maybe I'm biased and sick of Penrith winning, but yeah, I think the Doggies can do it. So that is my NRL final series and grand final. The Panthers being defeated by the Bulldogs. As I said, they do really need to get into the top 4 to give themselves a great chance, because otherwise they're going to be playing lots of games there. But bit of an advantage week 1 against the Dragons in the first week as well. So that's it for this video, guys. Obviously, I've done a live stream. Dogs ended Eels 3-peat. They did. There's so many stats around this team. And at first, it seemed like a big joke. And now it just seems to be a reality. So Panthers Bulldogs grand final. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video if you want to see more live streams. I haven't done one of these for a while. My tipping video for round 24, obviously if you watch this, you know my tips, but that video is 5 minutes away, looking at the upload on it now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Plenty of vlogs coming out over the next couple of weeks. Next week, I'll be at, what will I be at next week? Maybe nothing. This week, the Eagles Roosters, I'll probably be there. Luke, I have actually got a bet on from 11 p.m. on the grand final night last year on the Dogs at $41. So, I'm riding that. So, yeah, let's do it. Let's end the video there. Bulldogs are my pick for the 2024 grand final. Hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you check out the vlogs if you haven't checked them out over the last couple of weeks. Love the Deadpool and Wolverine content. Appreciate that, Diggs. Have a great night, everyone. It's dinner time. Elite 2024 comes out on Thursday as well. And another comment there, see you on Talking Para at 8:15. If you're a Para fan, make sure you check out Talking Para on Facebook. That's it from me. See you guys later.